Oh god!
We're sinking! The game's sinking!
We're sinking in a lack of content!
We need more! Hi everybody, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
Today we're here to talk to you about Sea of Thieves and finally new content.
Yes, very needed content that's not going to be here until May.
Okay, but, oh really? Mm-hmm. Dang.
All of this kind of came to us in a live stream that later got posted onto YouTube, so you guys can go watch that. It's going to be in the links below. The first thing that they talked about was the weekly events that they're going to be added. I want to put a caveat to all of this, is that everything that they talked about was extremely vague, and like vague to the point of like it could mean absolutely nothing, but it could also be like game changing and game breaking. So it's like how little information that they talked about. So with those weekly events, they're talking about adding new mechanics within the game. Don't know what that means. They're talking about adding like different possible quests for different factions. So for example, the gold hoarders might have a new type of quest instead of going and getting treasure chests. Then they're talking about having additional like XP weekends almost, like
yeah, so we get bonus XP for doing a specific kind of mission or a specific, factions mission, which is good because grinding out some of those missions that you don't like is really annoying.
Merchant. They're also talking about getting players to go to zones and areas that aren't being used in the way that they were hoping to,
Yeah,
I
think they were expecting players to be a lot more like
exploratory.
yeah, adventurous as opposed to like grind.
Yeah, like for me, when I log in, especially if I'm with friends, I don't want to go and just explore zones because I feel like I'm wasting the three other people's time, because it's like, oh, what's over there? They're like, yeah, but we could be getting reputation, or we can be getting chests, or I could be getting more cosmetic items if we do this other thing. So I think it's not as exploratory as they were hoping.
Yeah.
So they've created a means to get you into those zones. So they're talking about either having captains that contact you and say, hey, so-and-so stole something from me, or I lost this in this specific area, and it will get you to some of those zones, like the underwater zones that like no one knows
Apparently
exists.
nobody uses them, but there's like coral and like a bunch of like cave systems and stuff like that I guess nobody has seen. But it's really kind of difficult to justify going down there if you don't know where you're going, right?
Or even if there's any sort of reward. The other thing that they're talking about is adding cursed cannonballs.
Yeah.
Which they gave
no details.
Zero information. Their reasoning behind it was interesting, because they're saying, look, right now when you are a galleon and you're going against another galleon, other than knowing the
quantities,
other than knowing how many cannonballs or how much wood they have, you know exactly what they've got.
Pretty sure we said that here on GameGorgon and identified it as a problem. If it stays like this, I feel through release, if this is kind of like release client and they're polishing it, which I don't think is the case, I'm gonna stay away from this game. But if they can kind of get more variety into the title and make it a little bit more dynamic, I definitely get involved, because it.
And so now they're talking about adding cursed cannonballs. Now we don't know if that curse is like, oh, you've got a cannonball and you have, while it's on your ship, you start like gaining water, or maybe you hit a ship with the cursed cannonball and now they're slower, or their anchor automatically drops, or like there's
all the characters become drunk. Like there's so many cool things that you could force onto the enemy team to make their life more difficult. We also got a little bit of detail on the next 3 updates that are going to be coming out. The first one's in May, and it's called Hungering Deep.
The Hungering Deep is going to be adding a new AI threat, which is kind of the theme with all 3 of the expansions that they announced. And by expansion, I mean content drops. It doesn't tell us anything, but we kind of are taking some speculation, because the image that they showed when they were talking about the Hungering Deep, there was kind of like this image of almost like a whale or like a large fish, and the word Hungering Deep makes me think the ocean.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get it so that multiple crews, not just one crew, has to accomplish a goal.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what they were trying to push for with the forts, like the raids. But like people figured out how to cheese like the AI pretty hard to get it so that they can do it by themselves. And so what they're trying to do is trying to push additional crews to accomplish a goal to gain rewards, or
I mean, unless you can guarantee that I'm going to get the reward without the option for the people I'm working with to take it from me, which would, I think, defeat the purpose of the game. There's no way I would trust another crew.
No, I wouldn't either. And you should. This is a group of pirates.
Yeah.
Heck, the pirate legend himself got it cheesed and got it in a very piratey way.
The next one's called Cursed Sails, which doesn't have a specific month for release, but just sometime in summer. Introduces a new AI threat, just like the previous one. We don't know what it is. It also introduces a new ship type, completely new ship type. We don't know what
the size or anything,
or how many players it's going to be, or if it's going to.
We don't know if it's going to be between a sloop and a galleon, or if it's going to be larger than a galleon, like
or smaller than a sloop.
Yeah, I mean
a rowboat. It introduces the rowboat. Has 0 guns.
I'm going to assume it's above a sloop. I think the sloop's going to be the smallest.
It's going to be a jeep. No.
Nope, none of that.
Okay.
Now with the Cursed Sails, our speculation that it's probably going to be some sort of AI ship.
Yeah.
Maybe like a ghost ship that comes through.
Right now, all of the ships in the water in Sea of Thieves are player controlled, but I think not having an AI controlled vessel is another huge opportunity loss. Like, if there's nobody else on the server, or if there's very few people on the server, why not just spawn some
or
AI?
because there's a lot of people on, just in different zones. I mean,
or like step back, if you want to go towards a situation where a lot of players have to fight against one enemy, why not one like quadruple galleon, massive like armada destroying vessel that's AI controlled that players can attack together? That like, I don't know, if a player attacks another player within range of Armada Destroyer 9000, it destroys both of the ships, or like does a ton of damage to both of the ships. So that like mechanically it's difficult to interrupt the group like dynamic, you know?
Last one they announced is the Forsaken Shores, which again just says summer, and are again a new AI threat. Whatever
Look,
that
it's HAL
means.
9000. Each time they do an update, there's going to be a new iteration of HAL 9000. Is it 5000?
9.
Was that right?
Yeah. Now, we do know a little bit more about this one, is that we know that there's going to be newer locations that you're going to be able to explore that are going to be more difficult, a little bit more, like, I don't know if the AR does more damage or if just how...
I hope it's quantity, because that's my main problem is, like, I want to feel like I'm gonna be overwhelmed.
I can see that. I mean, there's a...
Instead of spawning 5 zombies or skeletons, give me, like, 12 or like 50.
Yeah, I mean...
Not 50, please.
It depends on what direction it is decided to go, but all we know is that it's going to be new zones that are more difficult, that are going to have better treasure and better items that you're going to be able to get in them.
Nice.
The last thing that they announced was that they continue to have 3 additional content updates that are going to happen during the winter and fall. We don't have any other information other than they're going to be doing that, mixed with weekly events in between. I'm glad that they're adding content. I just wish they would have added some of this first layer of content in with the game.
All right, everybody, head down to the comments below. Let us know what you want the new ship to look like. Is it going to be like a big hulking behemoth with 1,000 guns with a crew capacity of 40? Or is it going to be like Sloop 2.0 with like 1 extra cannon and it goes slightly faster or something? I don't know. What do you guys want?
While you guys are down there, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can unlock the bell icon and get notifications for all of our future content. If you want to get a hold of either of us, you should head over to Twitter. You can get me on there at IndigoQT.
You can also get me on Twitter. My Twitter is at QueueQT. You can also reach both of us at the same time at _QueueTimes. We've been GameGorgon. We will see you guys tomorrow.